Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris here, and today I'm bringing you my review of the Crew Motorfest, which is a game that I think a lot of people didn't really pay a ton of attention to, right? When you think about racing games in 2023, you think about Gran Turismo 7. I think that was 2023. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm losing track of my dates at this point. But anyway, Gran Turismo, you think of Forza, Motorsport, things like that, that are kind of the more, I think, widely recognized sim racer types of games. I'm here to tell you that I love those games. I had a lot of fun with those games. I still play Forza a good bit. I kind of waned a little bit on Gran Turismo. But when I want to play a racing game, I always come back to the Crew Motorfest. And it's one of those things that I kind of picked up on a little bit of a whim. I hadn't really played the Crew or the Crew 2, but everything I read about it kind of suggested that for me, it would be a very fun type of game to play. And I think over the course of the 17 hours or so that I've played it at this point, and I've made it through the bulk of the playlist, maybe 80 to 85% of the playlist, which are sort of encapsulated little, as the name would imply, sets of tracks that you could go through to learn more about different types of vehicles, right? There's one dedicated to Lamborghini. There's one that's focused on motorcycles. There's one that's focused on boats, one that's focused on planes and different types of cars, Porsche, all of that sort of stuff. I keep coming back to this when I have some downtime, when I want to have something really fun to play. I've got it on my PlayStation 5. I think at this point I'm like 40 something percent done with the trophies or whatever, the case may be with that. But I have just really had a great time with this game. I think what makes it work so well too is that it kind of straddles a line between arcade racing, just being completely off the walls type of racing, and sim racing. Certainly it trends more toward the arcade format, I would say, with the type of racing that you're doing in the game, but it's not so completely insane over the top that it takes away any kind of precision that you might need with handling. And you can adjust the difficulty, of course, to make it as much of a challenge for you as you want it to be. It's set in Hawaii. You've got a lot of different locations to visit. The scenery is beautiful. The graphics are amazing in the game. It just really has sort of drawn me in, and it's been kind of a nice escape because there are a lot of different challenges. So besides the playlist, there are a lot of online challenges you can do, races against other online opponents, but a lot of different things like photo ops. In other words, they want you to drive around the island, and they'll have little challenges where you need to take a picture where certain things are in the background and you're driving a certain type of car. There are speed traps where they want you to be going a certain speed when you go across that intersection or that place in the game. There are even little moments called escapes where you drive through sort of a yellow arch, and then it's almost like a virtual bomb goes off, and you have to be going fast enough to get away from the blast radius of that before it reaches you. You have to go a certain number of yards, but just a lot of different little things here and there to keep it interesting. Sometimes when you're driving on a road, there are challenges that pop up that are kind of a pain, and I don't necessarily want to do that because I'm just trying to get to the next event so I can engage with that. But you can just go around it in order to not activate it. And then when you get to a certain point in the game, you can unlock fast travel so you can go from one place to another really quickly. But I have just had a ton of fun with this. And I think about, again, Forza, I think about Gran Turismo. While I do still enjoy a lot of what those games have to offer, I keep coming back to this one more than either of those two, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I think it's the sheer variety. I think it's kind of the escapism where you can just sort of mess around with it. I think some people don't like open world driving games like Forza Horizon, maybe, where you are going from one location to another and having to drive across the island. I prefer that type of thing sometimes when it gives you the opportunity to do little events in between, and you get a ton of that in the Crew Motorsport. I think, too, just being able to drive and transform to a plane and then cover a lot more ground quickly and discover new things, or to transform into a boat whenever you want to do that. It's just a lot of cool stuff that you can sort of explore and have fun with. That's not going to be the type of game that everyone loves, but when I think about 2023 and I think about racing games, this is my favorite one. I'm not going to go out there and claim that it's the best one because when you think about the competition, it is pretty stiff. I like games like Dirt as well, but this is the one that I keep returning to, right? And it's sort of a delight to find a new franchise that you hadn't really explored before, even though I know the Crew and the Crew 2 have been around. This is my first foray into this Ubisoft offering, and I have just had a ton of fun with it. If you've played the Crew Motorfest, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. Do you completely disagree with me? Do you think it's a disaster for one reason or another? Or do you like it? Do you like the variety of cars, which is something that I really enjoy in this game? Do you love the different challenges that are there? The kind of tongue-in-cheek humor that can be a little bit over the top, but also makes it kind of a relaxing, fun time. Do you enjoy that, or is that just not really your sort of preference? Anyway, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And as always, thanks so much for watching.